Hello guys, you are seeing Prime News Australia, where we show you the latest and important news of Australia in the fastest and reliable way. So come, let's start by not delaying 25 big updates of the Australia, especially for you. Before proceeding in the video, comment by commenting from which state you are watching, and also like video so that YouTube can reach this video to more people of Australia.
The Australian government has officially announced a massive $2.3 billion investment to bolster the Army's long-range strike capabilities. This significant funding will secure the acquisition of the high-mobility artillery rocket system and precision strike missiles. By establishing a second long-range fires regiment in South Australia, the nation aims to extend its defensive reach to over 1,000 kilometres. In a major shift for the domestic professional services landscape, Grant Thornton Australia has agreed to an $800 million sale to its American counterpart. Backed by private equity, this acquisition is expected to reshape the local tax, audit and advisory sectors significantly. The deal still requires formal approval from nearly 200 local partners before being finalised. Police in Alice Springs have intensified their search for 5-year-old Sharon Granitz, who remains missing under suspicious circumstances. Authorities have expressed growing fears that the young girl may have been abducted, prompting a large-scale manhunt across the Northern Territory. Today marks the solemn 30th anniversary of the Port Arthur massacre, a tragedy that changed Australia's approach to gun safety forever. Commemorative services are being held across Tasmania and the rest of the country to honour the 35 lives lost in 1996. The milestone has reignited national discussions regarding the continued effectiveness of strict firearm regulations and the importance of mental health support. Survivors and family members have gathered to share stories of resilience and remembrance. Prime Minister Anthony Albanese has issued a stern warning to global tech giants, demanding they pay Australian news outlets for shared content. The government is considering new tax measures to ensure that multinational corporations do not profit from journalism without providing fair compensation to the creators. Supporters of the move argue that online advertising dollars must be redirected back into local newsrooms to sustain public interest journalism. This development follows years of tension between social media platforms and the government. The Women Deliver 2026 conference has officially opened in Melbourne, drawing over 5,000 delegates from around the globe to discuss gender equality. Activists, world leaders and industry experts are calling for urgent action to address the global gender gap and improve healthcare for women. The event serves as a platform for marginalized voices to demand systemic change in policy and corporate culture. Organizers hope the summit will result in tangible commitments toward protecting women's rights worldwide. South Australia continues to lead the way in renewable energy, with the announcement of the new Coolunga battery storage system. Genus Plus Group has secured a $110 million contract to build the 800 megawatt-hours facility, which will stabilise the state's electricity grid. This project is part of a broader federal initiative to invest in dispatchable energy as the nation transitions away from fossil fuels. Once completed, the battery will be one of the largest storage assets in the country. Indigenous leaders have publicly condemned the disruption of Anzac Day services following incidents of jeering during Welcome to Country ceremonies. Elders expressed deep disappointment that a day intended for national unity and reflection was marred by disrespect toward traditional owners. The controversy has reignited a heated debate over the role of Indigenous protocols in official Australian commemorations. Many veterans have voiced their support for the elders, calling for mutual respect between all cultures during national events. AI infrastructure startup Sharon AI has successfully raised $487 million from institutional investors to fund the acquisition of high-performance chips. This massive capital injection comes ahead of the company's highly anticipated listing on the Australian Securities Exchange later this year. The investment underscores the growing dominance of artificial intelligence technology in the local tech sector. Former Prime Minister Julia Gillard has addressed the rise of the manosphere, calling for a new, modern approach to achieving gender equality. Speaking at a summit in Sydney, she highlighted the dangers of online radicalisation and its negative impact on young men and women alike. Australia has finalised a landmark $10 billion frigate deal with Japan, signalling a new era of defence co-production between the two nations. Under the agreement, 11 next-generation multi-role frigates will be built to replace the ageing Anzac-class fleet. While the first few vessels will be constructed in Japan, the majority will be built in Western Australia to boost local industry. A 28-year-old man was rescued from a remote area near Point Sampson after becoming stranded during a weekend excursion. Authorities credited the man's family for their quick thinking in raising the alarm after he failed to return home on schedule. Emergency services utilized drone technology and thermal imaging to locate him in the harsh coastal environment. Humanitarian groups have written an urgent letter to the Australian government, calling for increased support for those affected by the ongoing conflict in Sudan. The Refugee Council of Australia is advocating for broader and more accessible visa pathways for Sudanese citizens seeking safety. With millions of people displaced and facing extreme food insecurity, activists argue that Australia must do more to fulfill its international obligations. Anthropic, a leading global artificial intelligence developer, has appointed its first Australian managing director to oversee its local operations. This move indicates a significant expansion of the company's commercial interests and partnerships within the Australian market. The new leadership is expected to focus on integrating AI solutions into government services and large-scale corporate enterprises. The Australian Securities Exchange reached a 3-week low today, as heavyweight energy and mining stocks faced downward pressure. Origin Energy saw its shares slide further following a significant downgrade by analysts at UBS, citing concerns over future revenue streams. While some lithium and tech stocks bucked the trend, the broader market remained cautious amid global economic uncertainty. A new partnership in Western Australia is focusing on preventing family violence through First Nations-led initiatives. The collaboration between the WA Centre for Rural Health and local Aboriginal corporations aims to engage men in meaningful dialogue about healthy relationships. By focusing on cultural healing and community support, the program seeks to address the root causes of domestic issues in regional areas. The Australian Defence Force is preparing for a major leadership transition, following the appointment of several high-ranking officers to new positions. The Albanese government confirmed the changes as part of a broader strategy to align military leadership with the 2026 National Defence Strategy. These appointments are intended to ensure the ADF remains agile and prepared for emerging security threats in the region. Socceroos fans are celebrating today after the revealed draw for the FIFA World Cup 2026, which sees Australia facing a challenging group. This marks a historic moment for the team as they prepare to compete on the world stage for the first time since 1974 with such high expectations. SBS Sport has confirmed it will provide live and free coverage of all matches to ensure every Australian can follow the journey. Research from the University of Canberra has revealed that a growing number of Australians are relying on social media for their primary news source. The study highlights a concerning trend where users are increasingly exposed to misinformation and echo chambers. Academics are calling for better regulation of digital platforms to ensure the public has access to verified and balanced information. Anxiety levels among Australians are reportedly at an all-time high due to what experts call the age of constant crisis. A recent mental health survey indicates that the combination of climate concerns, economic instability, and global conflicts is taking a significant toll on the public. Mental health advocates are urging the government to increase funding for community-based support services and crisis hotlines. They emphasize that the current system is struggling to keep up with the surge in demand for assistance. Australian veterans are increasingly grappling with the complexities of the Anzac legend amid ongoing investigations into alleged war crimes. Many former service members feel that the traditional narrative of the Anzac spirit is being challenged by modern legal and ethical scrutiny. Support groups are providing forums for veterans to discuss these issues and process their experiences in a changing social climate. The debate highlights the difficult balance between honouring national history and acknowledging the realities of modern warfare.